Hi everybody, Alan Weber from the Mayor's Office with the next part of the chapter of Pooh and Piglet's hunt. And Pooh and Piglet were looking after two what-is-its when all of a sudden Winnie the Pooh stopped and pointed excitedly in front of him and said, "Look!" "What?" said Piglet with a jump. And then, to show that he hadn't been frightened, he jumped up and down once or twice more in an exercising sort of way. "The tracks," said Pooh. "A third animal has joined the other two." "Pooh!" cried Piglet. "Do you think it is another woozle?" "No," said Pooh, "because it makes different marks. It is either two woozles and one, as it might be, whizzle, or two, as it might be, whizzles, and one, if so it is, woozle. Let us continue to follow them." So they went on, feeling just a little anxious now, in case the three animals in front of them were of hostile intent. And Piglet wished very much that his grandfather, T.W., were there instead of elsewhere, and Pooh thought how nice it would be if they met Christopher Robin suddenly, quite by accident, and only because he liked Christopher Robin so much. And then all of a sudden Winnie the Pooh stopped again and licked the tip of his nose in a cooling manner, for he was feeling more hot and anxious than ever in his life before. There were 4 animals in front of them. "Do you see, Piglet? Look at their tracks. 3 as it were woozles, and 1 as it was whizzle. Another woozle has joined them." And so it seemed to be. There were the tracks, crossing over each other here, getting muddled up with each other there, but quite plainly every now and then the tracks of 4 sets of paws. "I think," said Piglet, when he had licked the tip of his nose too, and found that it brought very little comfort, "I think that I have just remembered something. I have just remembered something that I forgot to do yesterday and shan't be able to do tomorrow, so I suppose I really ought to go back and do it now." "We'll do it this afternoon, and I'll come with you," said Pooh. "It isn't the sort of thing you can do in the afternoon," said Piglet quickly. "It is a very particular morning thing that has to be done in the morning, and if possible between the hours of—" "What would you say the time was?" "About 12, said Winnie the Pooh, looking at the sun. "Between, as I was saying, the hours of 12 and 12:05. So really, dear old Pooh, if you'll excuse me—" "What's that?" Pooh looked up at the sky, and then, as he heard the whistle again, he looked up into the branches of a big oak tree, and then he saw a friend of his. "It's Christopher Robin," he said. "Ah, then you'll be all right," said Piglet. "You'll be quite safe with him. Goodbye." And he trotted off home as quickly as he could, very glad to be out of all danger again. Christopher Robin came slowly down his tree. "Silly old bear," he said, "what were you doing? First you went round the spinney twice by yourself, and then Piglet ran after you and went round again together, and then you were just going around a 4th time." "Wait a moment," said Winnie the Pooh, holding up his paw. He sat down and thought in the most thoughtful way, scratched his nose twice, and stood up. "Yes," said Winnie the Pooh. "I see now," said Winnie the Pooh. "I have been foolish and deluded," said he, "and I am a bear of no brain at all." "You're the best bear in all the world," said Christopher Robin soothingly. "Am I?" said Pooh hopefully, and then he brightened up suddenly. "Anyhow," he said, "it is nearly luncheon time." So he went home for it. And that's the end of Pooh and Piglet Go Hunting, the end of Chapter 3. Chapter 4, if you're interested, is the chapter in which Eeyore loses a tail and Pooh finds one. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. More Winnie the Pooh later. Take care.